you could be a host in French, it would be really cool.
That's
Yes,
right,
but I
Daniel.
don't know. I don't know. It's a bit complicated to like host a meeting. No, don't you think, Melissa? You have like to
No.
deal with people, control what people are saying, because some people want to speak a lot and others don't speak. So you have to somehow control it for that everybody could speak.
So, first of all, such a great idea, Mariana. Danielle and Mariana, you guys should become host and hostess. Yeah, like dealing with people, it's kind of challenging. And that's awesome because, you push yourself to face these situations, you know? So you kind of enhance these skills. You improve these skills. Guys, because I must get off things off my chest. Deal with people is not that easy. So host a meeting in terms of trying to understand what others are saying, like make a great space, a respectful space to everybody share their opinions is not that easy. But it's pretty challenging. It's pretty challenging and it's pretty awesome because you work on your skills. Do you think this is
Yes.
intimidating?
No, I think the most complicated for me is like to make it a real conversation, not just an interview, because some meetings for me are more like an interview because people are just asking others, what do you think about it? And they don't keep the conversation flowing. It's not like a conversation, because if you just ask the person and doesn't say anything about what the person is saying and don't continue the conversation, it's a bit boring. Don't know. This is why I usually join the same meetings because it's the meetings that I like the most. The others a bit more, how would I say, uh, to
Something to be improved.
yes. But it's
That
not
it?
because the person is not a good host. It's just because I don't feel it's good for me, but other people like it, so it's okay.
And that's totally fine. Wow. First of all, thank you so much for this feedback. TNT, are you watching this? I hope so. Host and hostess, I hope you're watching this and take this feedback. Thank you so much, Daniel. And that's so it. Like keep a natural conversation, as you said, and try to avoid the robotic one. It's kind of difficult, but not impossible. And you too should think about this idea of becoming a host or hostess. How about you, Marina? Do you think that the main struggle of being a host is like dealing with people? Do you agree with Daniel?
Oh, I agree. I agree. And I think that the difference between a natural conversation and an interview, sometimes it depends the team, the questions, and some questions we can feel more freedom, and others it's like an interview, like Danielle said. But I don't feel that my French is so good to be a host in French, but I have already subscribed myself to be an English host here. So I really encourage you, Daniel, to be a French host here because your French is so good and you can. I cannot in this moment, but you can. So we can have more meetings in French here.
Okay, I'll think about it. I will subscribe to the hosting practice too.
I'm freaking out, guys. So cool.
Mary,
I
Melissa,
didn't
you're
know.
like you're making us hosts.
And I'm so glad. I didn't know, Marina, that you had subscribed it. Did you subscribe it? Good to know. To become an English hostess. Good to know. Good to know. And Danielle is subscribing too, right? To be French host soon. We all know. Anyways, guys, good to know. I really, I'm look forward to joining your meetings, Marina. when you become a hostess.
Oh, you'll be welcome. And I think that it's really important because you learn not only a language, but you learn how to deal with people, how to manage Zoom, for example. And someday you will need to use Zoom in your job, for example. It's really important, I think. So, Daniel, think about it.
There are a lot of benefits. You're totally right, Marina. And you know, another one would be critical thinking, guys, because I must confess that there were some meetings that I said some bullshit about certain topics. I'm not gonna lie. And it's pretty awesome to work your critical thinking and keep in touch with different realities from yours, you know. It's awesome. A bunch of experience, guys. Tons of
Yes,
experiences.
I agree with you. It usually happens to me because when I'm answering a question, I start answering the question, but when I realize I totally changed the subject and I'm talking about different things, and at the end I make a polemical commentary. So it happens to me a lot.
And you know, that's on YouTube. So people can reach out to this video like anytime. But anyways, guys, good to know. Really, really looking forward to you to become hostess and host. Let's get started and talk about today's topics because I think it's pretty interesting. First thing first, actually, let's present ourselves. Hello, YouTube. Hope you people on YouTube are doing fine. Mari, can you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, I introduce myself quickly. My name is Marina. I'm 23 years old. I'm studying economics at my university. And I am definitely crazy about languages. I'm studying English, French, and Chinese. And I'm really fascinated because we can learn not only a language, but a new culture, new experiences. It's really important for me. I really like it. It's my passion.
What a TNT lover. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. How about you, Daniel? Who are you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel. I'm 28 years old. I am a control and automation engineer, and I live in Belo Horizonte. And just like Marina, I am crazy about language. I study French and English and Spanish. And it's so nice to learn new language, to learn about new culture. And I love it. If I could, I would study all the day long. Sometimes I talk to myself in French and English, and people think I'm crazy. I just don't care because I don't have anyone to talk to at home in French, for example. So I speak to myself, and that's okay.
I must confess that I speak to myself in English too, because I know that the people who I live with won't understand me. So I can get a lot of things off my chest, soar a lot, curse a lot, actually, and so on and so forth. Thank you for introducing yourself. So, my name is Melissa. What's up? But you can call me Mel. I'm 19 years old. I'm based in São Paulo. I'm struggling to get into a college. And that's basic facts. So, this morning, we'll be talking about alone time and how important it is to reserve a time for ourselves. At least, I think so. The second question. Do you enjoy your own company? Please be honest, guys. And then, Daniel, do you enjoy your own company?
Yes, I enjoy my own company. I like to stay alone sometimes, reading a book, listening to music. And at my place, at my house is a bit difficult because there are a lot of people and I'm always surrounded by someone. So sometimes it's a bit complicated because I really enjoy my company. I also like to go out alone. For example, I go walking on the street alone. I must confess that there are some things that I would be courageous to do alone, for example, to go to a bar or a restaurant, but I'm not confident enough to go to a bar and sit alone drinking a beer, but it's something that I would like to do in the future, because when I go to a beer and I see someone sitting alone and drinking a beer, I think it's so cool, because you don't need anyone to have a good moment, because we think that we always need someone to have a good moment, to enjoy the moment. But I don't know if I would do that, to go to a bar alone, because I think that people would judge me and think, oh, he doesn't have any friends. He's a forever alone. So yes, I enjoy my own company, but I think that I still have some things to improve, to do.
Man, I totally feel you. Like, once I went to a concert, a rapper that I enjoy a lot. It was a long time ago. It's Black Alien, Gustavo, Black Alien, such a great rapper. Anyways, I was there enjoying the concert with my friends and colleagues when I looked at a guy who was alone at the concert. I looked at this guy and I just thought, God damn it, solitude. The guy was enjoying himself, and he was alone. He was enjoying a lot the show. He was drinking his beer. He was, such a solitude. If solitude were a person, it would be that guy. And like you, Danielle, I wish I could spend more time alone. I do enjoy spending time alone, enjoy my own company. And in the future, maybe I would like to show up in a pub and just enjoy myself. Maybe we think, I don't know, maybe what comes to mind is, oh my gosh, what a silly thing. Why is it so meaningful? But it is. I think it all comes down to solitude, that no need to have a lot of people around you. So I think it's basically it. How about you, Marina? Do you enjoy your own company?
I liked a lot about Daniel said in the French conversation. They said he said these two. He enjoy his time alone, unless if he needs to go to a restaurant alone. I will tell you something fun. Sometimes we are not alone, but our company are not good. I went to a show. It was a long time ago. I went to a show with a friend, and my friend let me alone. I was alone, but I found an old woman in the show, and I danced all night long with her. I danced and let me see. I forgot the name of the singers, but he's a sertanejo, and we danced. A gente desceu até o chão. We had a lot of fun, and it's really different. I went to a show with my friend, and I had fun with the old woman I found there.
God damn it. But like, how did you feel? Were you like, oh my gosh, you left me alone, the fuck?
Oh, it was terrible. He began to drink alcohol and make new friends there. So I I just had fun with the old woman there, and it was really interesting. Even nowadays, when she see me on the streets, she invite me to another shows, and it was really good. And I discovered she she's having a treatment because she have cancer, and it was really good to know that we had fun together, And it's really important because no matter your situation, you need to be fun, to enjoy your life. And it's really important to enjoy our own company too about the question. And I think that during these pandemic days, we learned too much how to be alone because we cannot be with our friends all the time. So we learned too much about this.
That's so great. And I was about to ask, do you keep in touch with this old woman? And you mentioned that yes. I
Yes,
hope she's
yes.
doing fine.
When I
So,
see
mm,
when I see her on the streets, it's really good.
awesome. I hope she's doing fine because you mentioned that she's going through a treatment, cancer treatment.
Oh, yes. It's really important for her to have fun and to enjoy the life.
That's so it. That's so it. To my mind, when we are going through tough times like this one that Marina mentioned, it's pretty important to keep that fun, you know. I don't know, push yourself to see the best of life, maybe. It's kind of hard, but anyways, thanks for sharing. So moving on, what do you understand? The third question. What do you understand about introspectiveness and extrovertedness? So I like to start out. I think, guys, that we all kind of experience these one's concepts. I would say that these concepts are kind of phases of your life, you know? There are phases when you want to talk a lot with people, when you want to be in touch with people, you know? And there are phases which you want to be like to yourself, reflect a lot about your goals, you know, about your life. What are you doing with your life? Want to reflect your relation towards the people you live with or towards your perspectives, your perspective like on the world. Anyways, you want to reflect all the aspects of yourself. I would say that we all experience these kind of things. Of course, there are shy people, more extroverted people, and so on. Of course, there are differences, but I would say we all experience it. How about you, Marina? What are your thoughts on this question?
About this question, I think sometimes I can be seen as an introspective person, but I think sometimes it depends the person. It depends the situation. Sometimes you can look like a person introspective, but you're not. You're extroverted, but it depends the person. If you are confident, if I think it depends on the situation. For me, I'm really introspective and I look like a close person, but I'm not. I'm extroverted. It depends the person, I think.
Oh, my my thing here. Anyways, I'm totally with you, Marina. There are contexts and contexts. You know, when I am at work, I'm such an outgoing person, you know. You will certainly notice that I showed up at work because I'm pretty outgoing, but like when I'm at home, I'm too quiet and I want to, you know, feel like in silence, just reflecting on my life and goals and stuff. I'm totally with you right now. It all comes down to context, situations, and so on and so forth. How about you, Danny? Do you agree with us?
Yes, I totally agree with you because I think it depends on the situation, on the context. Because, for example, I don't think I am an introvert. I think I am more extroverted. But it depends on the situation. If I meet someone um, that I find boring, or I don't know, if I think the person is not good for me anyways, I tend to be more shy because I'm not going to talk to that person. And people think I am shy, and that's good because I don't want to interact, to talk with her. But in general, I am a more extroverted. I like to talk to people, and even if I don't know the person, I am very talkative. But as you said, it really depends on the situation, because if I don't want to keep the conversation going, I pretend to be shy, so I don't have to speak a lot. But in general, I'm more extroverted. I speak a lot, so it depends on the situation.
So, like, would you say that you're the one who talks about your whole life at a bus stop with someone or not?
Well, I think I don't know if I understood you. I
You
What you
know
said.
that kind of people who get to know you at the supermarket line and start out to talk about their whole life,
No,
everything
I'm not
that is
that
going
kind
on?
of people. Well, I'm open. If I
Mhm.
feel like talking to the person, I'm going to talk to her. But it really depends on the person. If I feel like connected to the person, I'm going to talk a lot. If I don't connect to the person, I'm not going to talk a lot. So it's a way that I used to avoid like bad situations. Like if I don't want to talk to the person, I pretend I'm shy and I don't have to speak.
I totally got you. Totally got you. I come up with a lot of excuses just to avoid any small talk or anything like that. I totally feel it when it comes to these kinds of situations. And you mentioned something pretty interesting, like when there's no feeling of identification, it's kind of impossible to connect with anyone else. And I don't know you, but I can't even keep up with a colleaguism, you know, these kind of things. I'm totally with you on that. So, moving on. The first question: do you value this? This one is such a great one, guys. As Marina mentioned, the pandemic stuff. I think we have been had a lot of alone time and opportunities to enjoy ourselves. So the first question goes like: do you value alone time? If so, how would you describe your alone time in keywords? So, what do you usually do? What do you like doing? This kind of stuff. Maybe you can mention anything that you reflect when you are with your enjoying your own company, so on and so forth. And then, Marina.
For me, I enjoy my time alone, studying languages, listening to music, watching movies. I like painting too. I think it's too relaxing to stop, to breathe, especially because we live in a totally accelerated world. We are all the time receiving notifications and obligations, and you need to do this, you need to do that. And sometimes it's necessary to stop, to breathe, to turn off the social media, turn off the smartphone, electronic equipment, and just to relax and paint and listen to a music or sing. It's really relaxing for me, I think.
That's totally it. Like, we must disconnect, you know? I'm totally with you on that. Like, when I'm enjoying my own company, I like to even turn off my Wi-Fi connection, like, because I don't want to receive any kind of notifications. And I don't receive any kind of notifications, by the way, because my phone, I don't know you guys, but my phone, it's always on mute. Always, always, always. Since the day I got this, it's always on mute. And I like to avoid social media when I'm joining my own company. I'm totally with you on that. There's too information, and terrible ones. Every day we wake up, we scroll we scroll the social media feed, we come across with a lot of tragedies, you know. There's a name for it, which is doom scrolling. So we kind of doom scrolling a lot. I got so upset. So I don't know. I got so upset. So bad with myself. How about you, Daniel? Do you do similar things to Marina?
Yes, I like to reading, listening to music, studying language. But as I mentioned before, here at my house, it's a bit difficult to be alone because there is always someone. There is like neighbors, noise. There is construction. So sometimes I feel very bored to be alone, to be at home, even if I am in my bedroom. So I like to go out and for a walking, and I go out walking in the walk around the neighborhood, and just stop somewhere and sit and take a book with me and read a little. And I think this is what I like the most, to go out for a walking and see what's going on, see the movement of the streets and everything.
Yeah, I got you. So I totally feel you because I do have a lot of noisy neighbors, you know, and I can't go out like I can't go out and just walk around my streets because I will always come across tabacarias. I don't know how to say it in English. And motorcycles, tabacarias and motorcycles all over my neighborhood. There's no peace in it, at least for me. So what I really love doing is just listen to rock. I really, really love listening to rock because it seems that these rock singers, they are expressing what I would like to express, you know, scream a lot and stuff. So I really enjoy it. And the first thing that I really enjoy when I'm like with myself, hanging out with myself, is doing nothing. Just lay down in bed, look at the roof and doing nothing, just breathing. Writing as well. I love writing about anything. Sometimes I come up with stories or I just keep like a diary, try to journal the things that are going on in my life. That's basically it. Cool, guys. Cool. A lot of sharing. So the fifth one is such a great one, guys. I really want to hear from you. The fifth question goes, would you say that our culture somehow encourages this alone time, or it places such a high value on sociability? Can you exemplify any of these situations? So I would say that our culture kind of places a high value on sociability, you know. You must be in touch with someone, you know, otherwise you are certainly depressed or something like that when I just want to spend some time alone. So I would say that our society really, really places a high level on sociability. How about you, then? What are your thoughts?
Yes, I totally agree with you. I don't think that our society encourages us to be alone, because, for example, if someone is single, everybody thinks that person cannot find a partner, so, or she's in depression or something like that. And as I mentioned before, for example, for me, it's very hard to go to a bar or restaurant alone because there is a very strong culture in our society that we have to be a lot of friends, that we have to be always surrounded by friends and everything. So I think that the society doesn't encourage you to be alone and spend time with your own. So I think that's it.
That's it. Like such a great example. It's like you trying to, I don't know, get there. How could I say it? You're trying to hang out by yourself, but there's some pressure that you just can't do it. Such a great example on this.
Yes, I usually go to cinema and art exhibitions, for example, alone, because I don't know what's the difference between going to a cinema alone and going to a bar? Maybe it's because like a cinema you can go alone, and to a bar you have to go with friends. I don't know what's the differences between these two places. You know,
I
maybe
don't know.
because a cinema you're not seen by a lot of people, just go and sit and take a place. But if you go to a bar, you're seen by a lot of people, and you feel more touched.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Cinema, you know, all dark, so, and everyone's paying attention to the movie, so who are you? Fuck off. I just want to enjoy the movie that I paid for. I'm totally with you on that. I was about to say anything. It's something. But anyways, I think I will remember it afterwards. And then Marina, how about you? Do you feel the same pressure?
Yes, I think about culture. It's depend on the country. I think Brazilian culture is like you have said. You need to have a lot of friends. If you are alone, it's because you have depression. If it's because you're a sad person. They think this, and I think our culture encourage us to be more social person. But another countries, for example, in Europe, I think they are more closed, and they encourage you to study, to I think they are more closed. I know and a guy that he lives in Portugal, and he's always traveling between Portugal and France. And he told me he feels very alone there, and the people are totally different, and not like Brazilian. We are so hot, so friendly. Oh my God, we need to have a lot of friends. And I think it depends on the country.
Yeah. There are those differences. That's why I wanted to discuss it about our culture, you know, because as Marina said, there are these stereotypes that Brazilian are such warm people, is that correct? No. Such talkative people, outgoing people, friendly people, you know. So, in talking about stereotypes, Danielle mentioned the single one, to be a single, how's it like to be a single person? And I think that this kind of thing disseminates, I don't know, how can I put it? These silly stereotypes kind of reinforce that we must avoid being alone, you know? So I think it's such a great thing to be discussed. That's what I was trying to remember, to remind. Anyways, thanks for sharing, guys. But that's totally it. Depends a lot on the culture. Moving on. Here, the sixth one. Are there any consequences when one doesn't value or avoid alone time? Honestly, guys, I think that when we kind of avoid this alone time, we simply don't know ourselves, you know? If you don't sit with yourself and try to reflect on your behavior, like in its overall, you kind of don't know yourself. You don't know who you are. So I think we must have this alone time to get to know ourselves, and a lot of reasons that I can't name one right now, but I will hand it over to you. How about you, Maddie? What are your thoughts on these 6 questions? Marina?
Me.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think at the same time we need to socialize. We are social human. We need a time to enjoy with ourselves, just to respect our individuality, and we need to breathe, to think about us, to think about our goals, to think about our lives. It's really important to have this time. And I think the consequences, sometimes you cannot know yourself, because you just don't have time to think about you, to think about yourself. You just don't know yourself, and sometimes it's really bad. You don't have the time to just to cry. Oh my God, I'm sad now. I need to cry. I need to be alone crying. Just to be relaxed after. It's really important, I think.
That's so rich. And honestly, like if you can't enjoy your own company or if you can't be alone, that's too problematic. Actually, that's too problematic. At least to my mind, if you can't simply being alone, in my perspective, my view is kind of problematic. How about you, Daniel? What are your thoughts on this question?
Yes, I agree with you because it's important to socialize, as Marina said, to meet people and share your opinions, talk to people and everything. But I think it's impossible to avoid like being alone. Sometimes you're going to be alone, and if you don't enjoy your own company, you're going to feel a bit more desperate to find someone. You're going to feel very frustrated and bored, and you're going to try to find desperately someone to be with you. For example, I don't know. So you should somehow enjoy your own company because it's impossible to be surrounded by people all the time.
That's so it. The main one reason is because it's impossible to be surrounded like all the time. You put it in a nutshell. I'm totally with you on that. So, moving on. The seventh one is great question, guys, because we can like kind of do make a link to our answers, which is there's the verse of the song which we heard at the beginning of the meeting, which is some things we just don't talk about. The questions are, do you relate to this verse of the song we heard? When one's going through some hardships, is it really necessary to reach out to someone? I must confess that I am kind of a cave woman, a caveman, you know. I love being alone. I really enjoy myself. And sometimes I don't reach out to people because I know they won't understand my struggles. I'm not saying that I'm the one who suffers a lot, but sometimes the people who I usually reach out to, they kind of want to correct me, you know. It's hard to them to keep in silent and just hear me vent. Sometimes I just want to vent and I don't want any advice or to be corrected. So I really don't need that. I think that sometimes we must keep our struggles to ourselves because maybe other people won't understand, and that's okay. I'm not asking for everybody that I reach out to comprehend all my conflicts and stuff. But anyways, how about you, Daniel? What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, I agree. Sometimes I am more reserved. I don't speak a lot about myself to people because some people won't understand me or they are not very interested in it. Because if it's not a very close friend or a member of my family, I usually tend to not to hide, but to not to tell them because they're not interested or they will not understand what I'm talking about. And it's very, and some things are very complex because there is a whole history behind it, and you cannot just talk about very personal things to people you don't trust in because they are not they will not help you. They will just say, you're too weak, you have to overcome this. And it's not that simple. If you just needed to hear, you overcome this and the problem would solve, I would have solved that problem long ago. So I think I tend to keep things to myself or share with the close friends and with the member of my family, with people who would really help me, and not people who just judge me and or say like superficial things. Because and people are not, and some people don't have to listen to it because it's not a problem. It's okay.
Yeah, that's so rich. That's so rich. You know what? Like being vulnerable, it's so fucking hard. And contextualize people of our lives since we are since that we were kids. That's too exposure and vulnerability. I don't know. As you said, it's too complex. Like I can't picture myself contextualizing someone of the problems that I can't overcome that are related to my childhood, or the phase that I used to be bullied. I just can't contextualize. There are a lot of things, you know? So as the song goes, some things we just don't talk about, we keep to ourselves. At least we think like this way. How about you, Marina? Do you agree with this? Or do you have a different opinion?
I agree with you. I completely avoid to talk about another people, about my goals, about about what I need, what I want to my life. For example, I'm learning Mandarin, but I just shared with you because you're as crazy as me and you can understand me. But if I talk to uh, another people, they can think, oh my God, why are you learning Mandarin? It's too difficult. They can think, oh my God, they created coronavirus. Why are you learning their language? They just created coronavirus to defeat Bolsonaro. I don't think Bolsonaro is
They
too
wanted
important.
to they want to dominate Brazil with communism.
They created COVID to defeat Bolsonaro. Oh my God, that's so crazy. And especially when you would like to travel to another country, I would like to live in another country. If you comment this with another people, they will say, oh my God, it's too dangerous. You cannot. But what about your family? And I think sometimes we need to be quiet and to save our goals, our dreams.
Yeah, like I see what you mean. Like sometimes it's just a matter of a identification feeling, a feeling of identification. I would say that all comes down to identification and connecting to with people. I'm pretty happy that you feel comfortable to share that you are starting to get your head around Mandarin with us. That's awesome. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. That means that we are all connected. It makes sense because we are trying to learn language. So we hear, and all people that attend team meetings, we are like aware of the struggles of learning a language, and we can motivate each other. These kind of things. So that's such a great thing to comment about. Great, great, great. Thank you so much, Marina. And the last one, guys, we made it to the end. That's awesome. This one, please be honest. Have you ever seen yourself making up stories just to avoid socializing? Like avoiding that small talk with a neighbor that gossips a lot, these kinds of things. Like, for example, Danielle, he pretends that he's kind of shy just to avoid talking to people and so on. Do you have any other stories? To be honest, guys, I am used to cross the street. I just cross the sidewalk. When I see a person that I don't want to talk, I just feel like that I just pretend that I can see this person or I didn't see this person. How about you guys? Do you have any funny stories about this? You can just open your mic and
Yes, I totally agree with you. If I don't want to talk to someone across the street, or I answer very shortly, I just don't keep the conversation going.
I gotta go. Bye. Yes.
I have a meeting now in 2 minutes. And or if I, for example, it's on WhatsApp, I just ignore the people, and after some time I say, "Oh, I forgot to answer." I answered mentally, but I forgot to type the message, and that's it. I don't think we're obligated to talking to people we don't like. That's it.
Yeah, basically, totally feel you. How about you, Marina? Any stories like these ones?
Oh, a lot of stories. Especially when someone invite you to an event you wouldn't like to go. In the last moment, we can invent a story. I cannot go to this event because it's my dog's birthday. I'm sorry.
That's so it. Gotta have dinner with my cat. So sorry.
That's it. When I receive people in my home, my parents receive people in my home, I just close my door and be quiet in my room, in my bedroom. I like I'm not at home.
That's totally it, guys. We all do this. Come on, we all do these kind of things. So, we've run out of time, guys. It was such a great, there's an upcoming meeting, so I gotta be fast now. It was such a great conversation. I'm so happy for you. We made it to the end. I just dropped a link, so you'll be directed to our YouTube page. Please leave a comment, your impressions of this meeting, of this topic. Leave a like as well. And that's it, guys. I gotta run now. Gotta wrap up this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Bye.
Bye bye.